Money Mindset 2.0 is the next level of money mindset for the highly sensitive entrepreneurs and leaders of the Business Miracles community. Why is this an act that is bold, an act that requires confidence, an act that perhaps is a risk at this time? Well, first and foremost, you might not like the message. And as connected to perhaps not liking the message, you might not like me. Yet, I am not here to be your friend. I am here to be your mentor. And as always, the choice is yours. You can take in the opportunity to participate, or you cannot. You can take in parts of it, or none of it. You can approach these teachings with curiosity and openness, watching and witnessing your responses and reactions, or not. You can choose to remember and continue to work with these teachings and with the assignments that I'll give you, or you could completely forget the minute the training is over. You can let these teachings slowly integrate into your business, your relationships, your life, or you can completely reject them. I am not attached. The choice is yours. Yet it is my job, my role, to lead this community into terrain where we may not want to go, but where we are called to go. The first part of this series is an opportunity to look more closely at your own triggers connected to money. Not so that you can become someone or do something you don't want to be or do. Not so you can reach a certain income goal to prove that you're successful. Not so that you can compare yourself to others and their income goals. Only and all so that you can find your personal peace. Peace within yourself, peace with what you choose your money story to be, peace with what you choose your relationship with money to be. According to Louise Hay, founder of Hay House Publishing, responsible for bringing us the majority of Western thought leaders over the last 50 plus years, and often referred to as the mother of self-help, Louise Hay said, most people get angry when they first hear that money is the easiest thing to demonstrate. But it is true. But we must release our negative reactions to it and our negative beliefs about it first. She also said, it's easier to teach a workshop on sexuality than on money. People get incredibly angry when their beliefs about money are challenged. And then she said, the people who want money the most fight the hardest to hold on to the limiting patterns. What is your negative belief about money that is keeping you from having some? And affirmations she taught, prosperity is my divine right. I willingly accept an abundance of prosperity flowing through my life. I give and receive joyously and lovingly. I am connected to divine wisdom. There is always an answer to every question and a solution to every problem. Why Money Mindset 2.0 right now? Well, the terrain has changed with these exceptional times. There is a fierce focus required for us highly sensitive entrepreneurs and leaders to accelerate our own growth in order to contribute our unique lens of leadership, whether in your business, your career, your relationships, yourself, all of the above. And the terrain of business has changed. And the terrain of money has changed as our world continues to change. Many of you know my money story, but let me recap some highlights with some additions that might be new to your ears. First, I come from a family where scarcity was honored. I am fourth generation to Russian and Italian immigrants. The Russian side of my family, who I didn't really know, scrapped their way to America, including, I recently learned over the past year that my great-grandfather left a marriage in Russia and started a new one in America without telling anyone or dealing with it legally. He sold booze during Prohibition, got caught, and blamed it on his American wife, who went to prison for his law breaking. He started businesses, went bankrupt, and started others. The Italian side of my family built the railroads that run from Pennsylvania into upstate New York and Canada. My great-grandparents survived the 1930s depression by farming all of their own food. My other Italian great-grandparents actually built a successful business in upstate New York that became the center of contention in my family, including some nasty business with wills being changed and a lot of relationship disruption. My grandparents, who I was very close with, my second set of parents basically who raised me, rarely bought anything new. And they built as much as possible from hand always, whether food, clothes, or house. My father to this day speaks of any type of wealth as being anti-spiritual. Coming from all of this, along with losing my mother when I was 14 years old and basically being left to raise myself, I stumbled into my 20s emotionally and financially destitute. My stumbling, along with the world event of 9/11, which took away extra part-time jobs I had lined up for that year, led me to file personal bankruptcy when I was 30 years old. I started my business 2 years later. No credit cards, no family money, no spouse to fall back on. So when I heard Louise Hay say, the people who want money the most fight hardest to hold on to the limiting patterns, I took that very seriously. And I made a decision. I was going to fight hard to break those limiting patterns rather than hold on to them. As author and poet Anais Nin said, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. I'll share it again, probably well known. As author and poet Anais Nin said, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. And I was that miserable. I was that destitute. And I made the change for me. Not because someone else told me I needed to in order to be worthy. Definitely not for shoes, cars, or houses to prove that I was valuable. Not to try to fit in with the other 80%, at least not after trying, and that way nearly killed me. But because I was tired of living tight. I was tired of the pain. Yet, do you know the rest of that Anais Nin quote and poem? It is, life is a process of becoming. A combination of states we have to go through. Where people fail is that they wish to elect a state and remain in it. This is a kind of death. Living never wore one out so much as the effort not to live. Life is truly known only to those who suffer, lose, endure adversity, and stumble from defeat to defeat. Perfection is static, and I am in full progress. Abnormal pleasures kill the taste for normal ones. The choice to not live tight is a choice I continue to make over and over and over and over again. I've let relationships go because of this choice. I've had to face many difficult conversations because of this choice. And yet, the reward of the choice has always been worthwhile, hands down. I would not change it for anything. Life is a process of becoming. And so now, at this time, more than ever, the choice is yours. How do you choose to go through this 3-part series? If you choose to be in full progress, here's your assignment. 1, inquire / use auto writing for 1 week on this important question. What is my negative belief about money that is keeping me from having some? You commit to auto writing, inquiring each day for 1 week. Even if the answer is, I don't have a negative belief about money. I'm not being kept from having some. You show up and you ask the question again, the next day, and the next day, and the next day, for 7 days. Number 2, use these affirmations over the next week, however you choose. Highly sensitive leader's choice. Those affirmations are, Prosperity is my divine right. I willingly accept an abundance of prosperity flowing through my life. I give and receive joyously and lovingly. I am connected to divine wisdom. There is always an answer to every question and a solution to every problem. Breath in and let it out. Beautiful.